Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the channel. Before I begin, here are my disclaimers. Today I am going to give you an update about NURIX Therapeutics INC quarterly report. NURIX Therapeutics Inc. offers a range of businesses and services including development of small molecule therapies for cancer treatment, development of antibody therapies for inflammatory conditions and other diseases, clinical trials for the treatment of relapsed or refractory B-cell malignancies and autoimmune diseases, commercialization of treatments for various diseases, research and development of IRAK4 degrader for rheumatoid arthritis and other inflammatory diseases, co-development and co-commercialization of multiple drug candidates through strategic collaborations with Gilead Sciences, Sanofi and Pfizer. NURIX Therapeutics Inc. Stock price crash. A year of decline. The past year has been a tumultuous one for NURIX Therapeutics Inc. NURIX stockholders, with shares plummeting by over 50% due to several key financial and operational setbacks. The company's Q3 2025 financial results were a major contributor to this decline, missing both revenue and earnings per share estimates. A net loss of $86.4 million was reported, with revenue dropping to $7.9 million from $12.6 million. Increased research and development costs, primarily due to clinical trial expenses, further exacerbated the company's financial woes. This led to concerns over NURIX's cash burn situation, with a significant 113% increase in just 1 year. The company's market capitalization took a hit, raising worries about potential dilution for shareholders if additional funding was required. These factors combined have had a devastating impact on NURIX stock price, resulting in a substantial decline of over 50% in the past year. As investors continue to monitor NURIX Therapeutics' financial performance, it remains to be seen whether the company can recover from these setbacks and regain investor confidence. The primary drivers of revenue growth or decline in the biotechnology and pharmaceutical industries are multifaceted. Regulatory approvals play a crucial role, with delays or inability to obtain approval significantly impacting revenue. Intellectual property protection is also vital, as patent enforcement and competition from generic medications can greatly affect sales. Market trends and competition, including unfavorable pricing regulations and government healthcare reform initiatives, further contribute to revenue fluctuations. Financial and economic factors, such as global economic conditions, interest rate fluctuations, and inflation, also have a significant impact on revenue growth or decline. Other factors including orphan drug designation, grant funding, tax advantages, and user fee waivers can either positively or negatively influence revenue. Ultimately, companies must navigate these complex factors to achieve success in the biotechnology and pharmaceutical industries. Net income for the company decreased from -$738,769 in November 2024 to -$925,005 in August 2025. This decline is attributed to regulatory actions and uncertainty in the healthcare environment. The company has also incurred substantial losses throughout its history, further contributing to the decrease. Profit margins are likely negative due to significant losses. Several factors are expected to negatively impact profit margins, including dependence on contract manufacturers and potential supply chain disruptions, as well as price controls, tariffs, and increased scrutiny of FDA's approval process. The company's financial performance indicates a lack of positive operating cash flow, despite the passage of time, as evidenced by the 9-month period ending August 31, 2025. The company continues to utilize more cash in its operations than it generates. This is reflected in the net cash used in operating activities, which totals $181.6 million for the specified period. As a result, the company's financial health remains a concern due to its inability to produce positive operating cash flow. The company's debt level and interest expenses have undergone some changes in recent years. Regarding the debt level, there is a notable decrease from $589.8 million to $422.6 million, indicating a reduction in outstanding debts. However, this change only accounts for one instance, making it difficult to establish a clear trend. As for interest expenses, while not explicitly mentioned on page 36, operating lease commitments imply some level of financial obligation. On the other hand, accrued interest receivable decreased slightly from $1.5 million to $1.7 million, suggesting a minor reduction in interest expenses. The financial performance of various regions and segments in the industry has been impacted by several factors. On a positive note, the European Union, EU, and Northern Ireland have performed well, thanks to tariff and quota-free trade between the UK and EU, as well as the implementation of the Windsor Framework, which has simplified regulatory compliance for medicinal products. However, other regions have struggled. Great Britain, comprising England, Wales, and Scotland, has been negatively affected by its separate UK regulatory legal framework. The UK as a whole has faced challenges due to ongoing political and economic uncertainty caused by Brexit. Additionally, the EU has experienced difficulties stemming from strict price controls and reimbursement limitations. The UK's pharmaceutical industry has also faced headwinds, including lengthy HTA assessments and potential pricing pressures. These factors have contributed to a mixed performance across different regions and segments in the industry. Management is expressing a cautious outlook for the company, citing significant regulatory risks, intense competition from generic versions of its drug candidates, and intellectual property challenges as major concerns. The company does not expect to become profitable in the near future and may never achieve profitability. To mitigate these risks, management plans to focus on developing its drug candidates through collaborations with partners, while also exploring acquisitions and strategic alliances to drive growth. Concerns about inventory buildup or supply chain disruption exist. There are several concerns regarding inventory buildup and supply chain disruption in the industry. One major risk is the potential for supply disruptions due to difficulties in production, including contamination and equipment failure, page 47. Additionally, changes in government policies, such as tariffs, can lead to increased costs and delayed manufacturing, page 52. The reliance on contract manufacturers, CMOs, also poses a significant threat, with risks of regulatory noncompliance, misappropriation of proprietary information, and termination/non-renewal of agreements, page 52. Furthermore, macroeconomic events and conditions, such as inflation and interest rate fluctuations, can cause delays in obtaining chemical or biological intermediates, page 53. The limited number of manufacturers capable of manufacturing under CGMP regulations also contributes to the risk of supply chain disruptions, page 53. While the Trade and Cooperation Agreement, TCA, mitigates some concerns about supply disruption due to retesting in third countries, regulatory complexity and potential changes to the Northern Ireland Protocol, NIP, remain a concern, page 71. Overall, these risks highlight the need for careful planning and management of inventory levels and supply chains to mitigate the potential for disruptions. That concludes the financial summary for NURIX Therapeutics INC. Feel free to comment below, and I will be happy to answer them when possible.